What's going on, dudes? Wanted to make a video about just overall defense, because in Tekken, a lot of the gameplay that occurs when you're fighting somebody, a lot of people think it's all about, getting in your combos and getting in your attacks before the opponent can get in theirs. But if you want to win in Tekken, you need to be able to counter what the opponent's doing. So defense is a massive part, and I honestly even think it's more important than learning how to combo and learning offense options. So I thought I'd make an overall guide on all the things you should be doing on defense, because that will create the opportunities you need in situations where you're under stress to turn the tide in your favor. If you know all these options and know how to defend, like you've probably seen matches when someone's on an 80% life deficit, it doesn't mean it's over, man. One rage drive or rage art, or even a combo that leads into momentum, if you just know how to counter the opponent's strategy, you'll win. So let's jump straight into it. So the first thing I want to cover is something that a lot of players on the medium level or beginner level have trouble with, and that is when you're in the situation where you do a combo string and it doesn't get in and the opponent blocks it, then the opponent does one and you block it, then you do another one, blah blah blah, over and over again, and no one gets an attack in. This cycle, unfortunately, I was a victim to it as well, but there are plenty of things to overcome it, so don't think you've hit a wall if you are in this situation. So sometimes when somebody's on the offense and they know what they're doing, just because you block their string doesn't mean that you can hit next, because every character has a lot of plus frame moves, and if the opponent's using them, that means they're going to be on the offense for longer, because when they hit you with a plus frame move, they return to the neutral stance faster than you. So if you throw something out, it's going to get beaten by them. So yeah, when the opponent attacks you with something, you don't really have to look up the frames or anything like you should, but you can get by with just seeing what they do and what doesn't work. So for example, if someone was to do a 1-2 string against me, and then I try and hit them after that and they hit me first again, I'll know that that's a plus frame move, and I'll know not to press a button after that. So yeah, looking out for things like that is one good tip, because a lot of the times I'll be waiting and then I'll go to strike, but they've done a plus frame move that I didn't know about yet, and I'll eat it and I'll get launched, you know what I mean? So it all comes with time and experience though, so it's fine. The second thing is learning strings. So learning what your opponent does and all the buttons they press before they block. So when you see a break in the opponent's, when the opponent stops their offense and they stop pressing buttons, that's when it's your time to strike. So they might do a 1-2-3 string, a duck punch, then a rising attack, and then they might back off and block. And that's where you can capitalize, when you notice what they do and when they stop doing it. And every single player on this earth has a pattern. Better players hide that pattern and they switch it up, but a lot of everyone has a play style, and they will rely on it because that's what they've learned and that's what they've gotten good at. So learning the opponent's play style and their patterns will help you. I know it's tough in the middle of a match and you're just worried about your own offense, but it's more about reading your opponent than getting your own offense started. Another thing that I want to add in is when you're getting pressured, a lot of people will just hold back and just wait for their shot. You must keep an eye out for lows, because a lot of characters have crushing lows, or lows that start combos off, or even just a bit of damage. Like if you get a low in against the opponent, I guarantee you they'll be a bit weary of if they should block low or block high next, because they just got hit with an attack. Same goes for you. So make sure you're always looking out for those lows, or even better, this is another great point. If you're worried, you don't know what the mix-up's going to be, and you don't know if it's going to be a high, medium or low, and you're worried and you're like, I'm not going to be able to guess in time, just backdash it. You can make space for yourself and go back to square one. You're both, miles away again, no one's pressuring anyone, and it's up to you to get it started again. Oh, which brings me to another point. When you're in the neutral game and you know, you're with your opponent but you're on different sides of the screen and you're both doing that dance where you're waiting for one to go in, make sure you're patient, because a lot of higher level players, they will just wait for you to throw something out so they can counter it. So be very patient, don't just run straight at them and you know, just throw out a running kick or something like that, because they'll just easily sidestep it coming. So you have to disguise it with sidestepping and backstepping and all that stuff. I'm just going to quickly go over two things I mentioned in my advanced techniques video, and that's basically the sidestepping. So sidestepping is great because if they throw out a move and you know, it's in a straight line, it's not a homing move, you'll be able to go around them. You can sidestep or sidewalk them and they are still doing the move and you can start your combo. So they're not even finished the move yet. This is different to blocking, because blocking, you're in block start, so you're in like a defensive state when they attack you and you get back to neutral a lot later. But if you sidestep, they're still in their move doing it and you've already sidestepped it and ready to fight. So you can capitalize on a lot of things with that. The other thing I just want to quickly go over was the ducking the highs thing. So if your opponent does a lot of strings and you get used to it, where like say they keep jabbing you out of things, they just keep pressing jab, jab, jab. Easy, man, jab all you want. Just duck and launch. Basically, you can get a full combo from that. That's, if you know what you're doing, about 50%. Just straight up from a jab. A lot of players don't know that from a jab you can get, you know, ample combo ability. But if you can see it coming, or you know that's their pattern, they'd like to jab to get out of things, just duck, man. Duck and then launch. A lot of players have a while rising launch, so even if they don't, you can probably get in your hop kick or something like that. This one's a little more advanced, and I covered this as well, but with people applying lows, when people apply lows against you and you keep getting sweeped or you keep getting knocked over and tripped, if you know it's coming, of course you can block. A lot of moves, it's better to block because the move is so negative that when it's blocked, your opponent is in a staggered state and you can get a full combo anyway. So sometimes blocking is the better option. But say you see them do the same two jabs and then they go for a low poke. Try a low parry, man. Like, try it out. See if you like it. If you can't pull it off, you know, don't do it until you're ready. But all you have to do is press down forward. That's all you have to do. And if you do that, if you press those at the same time that he presses a button, you'll get the low parry, and it's so satisfying to get a low parry because you have, you know, all these options, because in Tekken 7 you can get a full combo off it. So just try it out. It's a very effective strategy, not only in terms of the damage you can apply, but also mentally. The opponent will be like, wow, I'm not going to try that again because this guy just fucked me up with a combo. So yeah, don't be afraid to do it. So the last topic on the cover, a lot of people don't pay that much attention to this, but I think it's one of the most important tools as well. So say your opponent gets a full combo in and you get knocked down. There are so many defensive get-up options and ways to turn the tide of the game. But a lot of people, when they get knocked down, they just want to get straight back into the fight, so they'll mash 3. And that does a low kick to get up, you know. That's bad, because if you spam kicks to get up, you can either get parried, or they can make you whiff, and you can try at that kick, and then they can come in and capitalize on the damage, so that's bad. I'm not saying these are bad options, they're actually very good options, and sometimes they'll, like, if you can trip somebody with a low kick when they're trying to come in and pressure you, you'll get a full combo off the trip as well. So it's very good, but you gotta know when to use it. So if someone's knocked you far away, and then you just quickly tap it to get up, and they're not even anywhere near you, they can just wait for you to throw that out and capitalize on it. So the next thing you can do is, I'm really glad they added this in, I only found this out a couple days ago. If you hold back now, you do a slide back. So it's literally like you just get up and block, which is good. Because in the past, like Tekken Tag, doing that would do this stupid back roll and you'd get hit anyway. So it's good that they've got that. The last defensive option I want to talk about was the double kick get up. Now, in the new one it's 3+4, and it's a lot better even in this. Like, I thought it was great in Tekken Tag, it's really good in this. and it's much faster. So try and utilize that whenever you can, because a lot of opponents, when they're on the offense, they'll just try to keep the momentum going, and that purely interrupts them. So throw that out when you can. So the very last thing I want to talk about on this video is just as important as the rest, so don't forget this one, and it's throw breaking. I can't stress enough how important throw breaking is, because, well, first of all, in the old Tekkens, it was, you have to press a corresponding button to the arm they grab you with. So for example, left arm would be, you press 1 to break it, right arm is 2, and command breaks are 1 plus 2. Now, in Tekken 7, they've simplified it a little bit. You can break every grab now with just pressing 1, except for command grabs. Now, this is very important, because if you get the hang of all these defensive strategies I'm teaching right now, and you start blocking everything, they have to find a way to get in damage somehow. So if you block everything, they're going to try and grab you from then on. Now, you can just duck the grabs if you know they're coming, but it's better to learn these so you're ready on reaction. So if you're not ready for a grab and it happens, you know, you'll have the reflexes to break out of it. So it's important to learn that. You can just go into training mode and just have, you know, the computer doing random grabs and then you testing your reactions to it, something like that. It's important because a lot of people will go for it, you know, if you're blocking a lot of their things and you're on the defensive. Grabs easy damage, especially command grabs, so yeah, it's good to practice those two. So yeah, that about covers defensive options. You can see by the length of this video that defense is very important. But yeah, obviously no one's expecting everyone to get these all down instantly. The more practice you get, the better you'll become at it. So, you know, don't neglect your defense. You'll easily climb the ranks if you remember all these tactics in a game. Like, I know whenever I learn something, I forget it when I'm under pressure. But if you can retain some of the knowledge that you learned in the practice mode, you'll be great. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. Take it easy.